Senator Jake Anderegg coming to you from the Utah State Capitol Complex. Today I wanted to talk about Proposition 3. This is the full Medicaid expansion proposition, which proponents have put on the ballot this year. I am not in favor of Proposition 3, and I wanted to explain why. Many of you are aware, some of you are not, that during my first legislative session I ran the Prohibition of Medicaid Expansion bill. What that basically said is we will not, as a state, fully expand Medicaid unless we do a full study, unless we totally analyze what the potential impacts would be to our budgets and to our financial impacts, as well as how many people would actually be helped coming out of the woodwork effect and those that would be bumped off of commercial insurance back down to Medicaid. So after we did all those studies, we would not expand Medicaid unless the legislature appropriated the money for it. And this is really where it comes down to, because proponents of this are going to say that this is going to help up to 150,000 new citizens within the state who are currently out of or don't have access to health insurance. And it's true, it would. The problem with this proposition in full Medicaid expansion is, first and foremost, the federal government does not allow us to limit the number of participants that can participate in the plan. So therefore, it's an open-ended cap. You have no cap. You can add upwards of as many people that live in the state as there possibly could be. This would go up to 138% of the federal poverty level, which means we anticipate about 150,000 new people, but it could be much more than that. The second reason why this is problematic as far as the state budget is concerned is they will not allow us to cap how much money we will pay towards the Medicaid expansion. So what this really looks like is right now the feds are saying, hey, we'll go ahead and cover 90% of the cost and have you cover 10% of the cost. Well, we're already spending several $billion a year on health and social services. This would increase, we anticipate that this would increase our portion anywhere from $300 to $400 million a year. Okay, that's 10%. My problem with Prop 3 is that 10% to 90% match is not guaranteed. The federal government is currently reimbursing Medicaid at 70% to 30%. So what happens, because we don't have any guarantees, if they go from the 90% down to the 30%, we could see our portion of the expanded Medicaid going from $300 to $400 million a year to $1.2 billion a year. Where is that money going to come from? So my objections to this is this Proposition 3 enters a variable into our budget equation that is too variable. We can't anticipate how much money this is going to be. In the short term, what that means is that we're either going to have to raise taxes substantially, substantially, several percents on your state income tax at least, or we are going to need to take it from where existing money lies, which the biggest pot of money that we could take this from is our education dollars. So let me ask you this. I am sympathetic to the 150,000 citizens that need health care. I am absolutely sympathetic to it. But entering this type of variable in it means that we're most likely going to take it from education. There is no other place for us to take it from. Or we're going to have to raise taxes in anticipation of needing to cover upwards of $1.2+ billion a year. So the problem with Prop 3 is it says we don't care about the rest of the budget or our kids in education or any of the other aspects that the state government has to balance their budget. We want to jump to the front of the line when it comes to appropriations process, and we want to make sure, because these are needy people. And I agree, they are needy people, and we need to help them. We need to find a pathway forward, which we have, this last legislative session, taken steps to try to meet that. But some proponents say it's not enough. We need the full federal dollars. We need the full Medicaid expansion, which, by the way, is the precursor for Obamacare. It's another reason why I oppose it. So at the end of the day, I am not in favor of Prop 3. I would strongly encourage all of you to vote no on Prop 3 because, quite literally, it's going to devastate us financially. And the reality is every other state who has adopted full Medicaid expansion has seen drastic cost overruns, sometimes 200 to 300% increase of what they were expecting the increase to be. So I just don't think we can afford it. We need to find a way to get health insurance for these people, and we need to expand some of those coverages, which we have come up with creative ways, but the proponents say they didn't like it. They wanted full Medicaid expansion, and these are the same people that support Obamacare. So from my perspective, vote no on Prop 3. This is Senator Jake Anderegg coming from the Utah State Capitol Complex saying thank you very much and catch you next time.